afternoon, everybody. Today is Friday the 26th of February, and I'm on my way to a pickup right now. I'm in Ohio, but delivered last night in Marysville, Ohio, which is near Columbus. Delivered late last night, right around midnight, and had the wife come down and meet me down there. We got a room last night. Got to spend some time together. I was close to home, but I was delivering so late that it was pointless to run home. It was easier for her to use part of the day to come down, get a room, and wait for me. So that's what we did. And this is kind of some of the things you have to do out here. You make it work, and obviously she has to be able to handle it, for me to be able to stay out here and continue doing it. She's good about it overall. Don't get me wrong, she definitely would rather me be home all the time, but at the same time, she understands this is what I enjoy. We make a good living off of this, so she doesn't give me too much shit. So I appreciate that. But the topic of this, the reason I'm making this video is I wanted to touch on a video I watched the other day. Another expediter. Well, he's not expediting now, but a former expediter. I think he's doing local courier stuff now. We call him Chicago. His channel is Jonathan Fillmore. The Fillmore is spelled Philmore. And the topic of his video is expediting worth it? And he broke down all the different pros and cons to it from his perspective. He broke down the things he likes about it, that he doesn't like about it. Obviously, everybody's idea of what's going to be good and bad out here is going to be a little bit different. So, and that's kind of the point and why I wanted to talk about it, because whether expediting is worth it is relative, and it's going to be based on the individual doing it. I mean, as with so many other things. So, the biggest reason I'm bringing it up is because you have so many people that have disliked it, and that's the thing. The negative stuff always stands out more than the positive, because the people that are being negative are making a lot more noise than the people that are being positive, because people that have positive things to say about it, they're enjoying life, they're doing what they do, they're making a living, they're enjoying their lifestyle on the road, and they do what they do. The people that don't like it, those are the ones you're going to constantly see a post from. You're going to continuously see negative replies to people's comments and posts. So it's easy to get a really negative opinion of this job. And like with Chicago, who made that video, he kind of comes at it pretty much from a negative standpoint, to be honest. I mean, that's the vibe I get. Let's put it that way. That's the vibe I get from it. And, I know him personally, so I think that also plays into how I view how he came across in the video. But he does do a good job of talking about all the different aspects. So if you can watch the video and just listen to how he's breaking certain things down, and the things, each individual pro and con that he talks about, if you really take the time to really think about those, it'll definitely help you in making your decision to come out if you've never been out here before. And that's the hardest thing that it's going to come down to, is that at the end of the day, until you actually come out here, you won't truly know 100%. You can do all the research in the world and still not know whether this job is worth taking a chance on or not. Me personally, I mean, I love the job. So to me, 100% it's worth it. You know, some of the cons that he was talking about, and he, you know, one of his biggest cons was the pay. You know, he was breaking it down as far as, you know, trying to compare what we do compared to a minimum wage or better paying job. And he's like saying the money isn't worth it. Now, again, me personally, I would definitely beg to differ on that, because, and again, him and I approach this job differently. He's more of a tourist than he is a driver. I'm a driver. I'm out here to make a living. If I happen to get to do something touristy while I'm out here, great, so be it. But I've said it, I've repeated it over and over in different videos. Everything I do out here is geared towards getting the next load and making the next dollar. It's just what it is. I'm not out here, you know, being away from my family to have my personal fun time. So when you hear people talk about the negative of being away from their family, you know, me personally, my goal is to at some point be off the road. You know, I do. I want to be able to, not 100%, but I want to be able to go home and stay home as long as I want, and then come out when I want to come out, as opposed to having to come out, needing to come out to pay bills. So I'm willing to sacrifice right now, and that sacrifice is being away from home. Why would I continue to slack when I'm out here and always have to be out here? So that's one of the reasons I go as hard as I go when I'm out here, is because I've got a plan. I mean, I've got a goal. I'm putting in all the effort I can right now so that at the end of things, I can be relaxing. If that makes sense, you know. The way I look at it, a lot of people come out here and they kind of half-ass it when they're out here, and they, you know, they get the days where they're down and out about being away from home, or you see drivers leaving, you know, to get off the road because they want to be home. Well, while you're out here, you know, because they're saying it's not worth it, like money isn't worth it. There's a lot of different things to it, but the biggest thing I see about people, you know, when it comes to the money not being out here, it's the individual not putting in the effort, not being able to pay attention and put in the work to do things. The majority of the people you'll hear about not making enough money, they'll either, if you talk to them, they will tell you how at some point they won't go here, they turn this load down, they turn that load down, you know, they need to get X amount of, you know, perfect planned out 8 hours sleep, you know, so on and so forth. So as far as the money goes, the money's here, but you have to go get it. It's not going to fall in your lap. You know, he compares it to a minimum wage job. You know, you go to a minimum wage job, you're doing, you know, you're obviously not in a great situation. Now, one of the things he brought up concerning that is, you know, the room for advancement in a regular W-2 position, which is true. I mean, there's room for advancement. And he says in this, he says there's room for advancement, but it's all self-created advancement, which is true. It is true. And once again, it comes down to how much drive do you have? How strong is your hustle? How dedicated are you? What kind of plans and goals and things do you have to go forward? Because I've mentioned it before, that's the one thing I like about this industry, is because there is an abundance of areas that you can advance, that you can expand, that you can explore and make money off of out here. Whether it be fleet ownership, you know, getting your own authority, becoming your own carrier, and warehousing, cross-docking, fleet managing, dispatching, brokering. I mean, just owner-operator, driving for a fleet owner. Like, there's just so many different places out here, and that's the thing I think gets overlooked, is that so many people weren't willing to put the effort in to take advantage of those opportunities that are out here, so they look at them as a negative, because it's easier. It's easier to go and get a job somewhere and try to get promoted to a manager or assistant manager or foreman or supervisor most people are miserable doing their job. They have to go in, do the same thing every day, deal with the same people every day, and advancement usually comes with more responsibilities and having to deal with more people at work, which just ends up being a lot of shit. So, and again, like this, see, I mean, as far as how I'm talking about that, it's a matter of perspective, Now, I've made the best of every job I've ever had, whether it be W-2 or being out here doing this, and I've always tried to do the best I can. I've always taken pride in everything I've done work-wise. I've always tried to be the best at what I do. So it's not that I'm not going to put in the same effort or one's easier than the other. It's just that this I enjoy more. This I think there's more room for long-term income, as far as and the ability to be an entrepreneur, or be just a small business, just not have to be micromanaged and work in a regular corporate world, or work in a fast food restaurant or anything like that. So yeah, that's where I would differ with him on the money to be earned. Put in the work, you're going to make the money. I mean, I've met several people that make good money. There's people now that don't work near as hard because they've found their comfort zone. They've gotten to a point in life that they don't have to hustle as much, or they found a nice little niche of a little, they got a couple of customers that feed them some good paying loads on a regular. And that all comes with experience and work. Excuse me. So yeah, just wanted to kind of touch on that because I don't know, you just see a lot of negativity, and I love my job. I do. I know it's sometimes maybe the vibe of some of the things I say and some of the videos may seem like they're negative, but trust and believe, no matter what I'm talking about, I enjoy the hell out of what I do. I have no plans of quitting or getting out of this industry. I grew up around this industry, the transportation industry, trucking in general. Like, I love it. It's in my blood, so I'm not going anywhere. And I have never had a moment at all. At any point have I had a moment of, damn, should I keep doing this? Never, ever. So, and I kind of stressed that point because I had a comment a few videos back where somebody said it seemed like I was being more negative lately, and yeah, there's no negative feeling on my end. I do try to stress some of the bads of this stuff because I don't want you to see just a good. Like, if I just, I watch other videos and I see some of the stuff, not just in Expediting, because like I said, there's not a lot of van expediting videos out there, channels, but hot shotting, trucking, straight trucks. It's like, and just entrepreneurship in general. It's all the clickbait titles of, hey, make 6 figures, hey, make 100,000, hey, do this, do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to accentuate the positives just because I think the positives are kind of evident if you're paying attention. I don't need to stress them, because I feel like if I stress them too much, I'm misleading, I'm misguiding people. Because if it was the other way around, the most people that came out here enjoyed this job and did well, of course I'd stress the positives. I'd be like, fuck yeah, like, man, I'm making great money, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that, I'm going here, going there. I do all that. But that's not the case. I see way more failures out here than I do successes. And so if I give you all of the downsides, it's so you have that, for one, so you have that information. 2, so you can try to learn from that and see, by continuing to do your research and continue to educate yourself, you're going to find a way to avoid that mess up, avoid that big investment, like, hey, man, that sounds great. Hop in a van, live in a van. Man, I can go to this. I can see that site. Man, I'm doing it. Then you get out here and you're like, fuck, regular sleep schedule. Like, holy shit, my van broke down. I got to put tires, and tires are how much? Like, all the reality of what this job is hits them right in the face. Like just like shapow. Like, oh shit, this ain't what I thought it was. You know, and that's one of the points that that Chicago was making, is that, you know, people have the misconception of what this job is about, and it's true. I mean, people do get that idea that they're going to come out here and just see the world and everything's everything. But specifically, he talked about the sleep schedule. You know, he highlighted how, oh, you might have been up all day, and, you know, then you're just about to go to bed, and they call you with the load that runs you all night. Oh, like, if you pay attention to this industry and you've been around this industry, and once you get out here and get the experience, like, that's what it is. Like, that's not a like a problem, or like that's a bad dispatch or a bad company that you're with. That's just part of the job. You know, I've mentioned this as well. Like, when you're in service, your energy gauge is showing 100% to dispatch. Like I said, that gauge isn't slowly going down to zero as the day goes on. Now, if you communicate with dispatch and you let them know, like, hey, and I mentioned it before, certain time, whoop, I'm done. Unless it's a certain mileage run, I'm done. But yeah, I mean, no, you're not going to come out here and get your normal, regular sleep schedule and make money. I mentioned it just recently. There's a sacrifice. You are going to sacrifice money for comfort, or you are going to sacrifice the comfort for the money. You know, which one is more important to your well-being and your life as a whole, as far as what you want to do? Some people say, oh man, you got to have the sleep because you're going to be unhealthy, you're going to die. You know, we can die doing anything, man. Like, I understand taking precautions, trying to take care of yourself and everything. I know I need to do a better job of that, and that's also one of the driving forces behind why I want to get off the road, you know, and only do it as much as I need, you know, as much as I want to, as opposed to need. But yeah, in the meantime, we got to work. Like, life isn't easy, man. Like, we've all just gotten accustomed to being so spoiled in life, and our lives in general have been so easy, and we've been so entitled that people, when they have to actually put in some effort and get outside of a comfort zone, they're like, holy shit, man, this job sucks. The government sucks. Like, everything sucks. America sucks. Like, no, man, you just actually have to put in some effort, man. Like, not everything's going to be handed to you. Not everything's going to be easy. That's a whole nother thing right there. So, but yeah, man, I think I've rambled on long enough, guys. As I said, I got to pick up, going to my pickup. The only thing I like about this run is it says it delivers Monday morning, but we're going to see what we can do. All right, guys, I'm out.
Your hustle got to be strong in this industry, as in any other industry.